It's the 22nd of May. My name's Jerusha Sukhthia-Rath, and I'm joined in studio by my colleague Roy McKenzie to have a chat about this morning's newspaper front pages. Thanks for joining me, Roy.
Good morning.
Now, yesterday, President Zuma was elected in the National Assembly to be president for the next 5 years. You'd expect to see his face on all the front pages, but...
Well, yes, I mean, it's very clear. There's red all over, so the EFF definitely stole the show. And you can't blame the media because, you know, the EFF and Julius Malema are just such big media personalities, and they're just so colourful and so new and different that obviously that's where all the attention's been focused.
Right, if you have a look at the cover of the Praetorian News, it says EFF overall winners, which is quite funny.
Very clever.
Right,
yes.
We were there yesterday, and it's true, it was President Zuma and the ANC's day, obviously, but really, the EFF stole the show. They were singing and dancing in overalls, boots, domestic workers' outfits. They really did steal the show.
Very cleverly, and I think that's that's part of their appeal, is that they're definitely appealing to the working classes, which is their target voter base, and also they've been so clever with their iconic branding. I mean, I would love to know who's advising them on that. The berets, the red color, everything that they're doing is just making them so iconic that obviously media is just lapping it up.
Now, there are a few front pages that do show Zuma, but it's Malema right next to him. So the cover of the Star, the last laugh, showing Zuma looking a bit sullen and Malema smiling. And I think we've got a newspaper here that shows something quite similar.
Yes, here we go. I mean, Die Burger this morning, they've also sort of juxtaposed them together, and you can see there's Zuma swearing in, and at the same time there's Malema saying, or, you know, looking ekaloer for yo, which is, if you look at that expression, it's quite a nice contrast. And yes, not just the Star, but other newspapers have also put the two of them together.
Now, speaking of Parliament, we recently heard that the premiers for the ANC candidates for each province were announced, and mostly men, barring one. There's only one woman ANC premier. So the Cape Times has picked up on that.
Yes, they have. I mean, obviously, Helen Zille is the second premier in the country, but not an ANC one, obviously. But she was under a lot of fire previously for appointing an all-male provincial cabinet. So what she's done is the two people who left, she's replaced them with women, and defended that because, and I mean, it's quite a clever headline, Raining Men.
Raining Men.
But yes, she said she was not going to fire the men in her cabinet just because they were men. So, defending her decision.
Let's have a look now at KZN. The front page of the Mercury also have the EFF on, but the big story in KZN in the moment, and Durban, where the Mercury is from, is that ETools are heading for KZN.
Yes, and when people hear ETools, I think there's a lot of panic and a lot of, scares like they'd had in Gauteng. If you read it carefully, though, it's not quite the same thing. What they're doing is they're going to put ETools on existing tolls, and it's really just going to ease up traffic congestion. So it'll actually be a benefit for people who use those tolls regularly.
So at the moment, there are tolls along the N3. So, for instance, if you want to go...
And the N2, yes.
And the N2.
On the north coast, yeah.
Right. So if you want to travel, say, for instance, from Pietermaritzburg to Durban, you're going to have to go through a toll. You're going to have to pay anyway. Now it's just digital.
Yes.
Is that right?
But the nice thing is that if you are from Gauteng and you're driving to Durban on holiday, you don't have to get an e-tag and all of that. You can still pay them manually like the old way. But for the regular commuters, it just means that you don't have to actually physically stop and pay, which was obviously congesting traffic.
So calm down, KZN.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much for chatting to us today.
It's a pleasure.
For more information on these stories and many more, visit news24.com, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.